I've never worked with a client who struggled with romantic obsession who also didn't lack purpose in their life. Because obsession is often a distraction from an unfulfilling reality.
100%. Romantic obsession is a coping mechanism for an unfulfilling reality. This is why romance and the myth of romantic love has always been marketed and sold as something that completes you, when in truth, the only thing that truly completes a person is death. Such is the nature of life. Life is a process, and because of this, restlessness is a symptom. There is no antidote or fix for the restlessness of life. A person can either move forwards in life, aka linear progression, or move around in circles, constantly repeating the same behaviors, routines, patterns, and experiences, aka cyclical behavior, aka addictions and attachments. Those of us who affirm life and accept life as a process look within in order to discover their why. I'll say that again. Those of us who affirm life and accept life as a process look within in order to discover their why, their purpose, their higher calling. They put this why at the height of their attention, whilst those of us who condemn life, reject life as a process, look outwardly in order to discover a how. A how to what, you ask? A how to end the process of life. So a how to complete life, a how to stop the restlessness of life, so a how to their final destination. They put their how at the height of their attention. The human mind needs something that can comfortably sit at the top of its highest attention. And when it's not a why for living, it can only become a how to stop living, or to reject living, or to avoid living, to stop feeling, to stop yearning, to stop suffering. This creates fixation and obsession as an attempt to resolve the unresolved. At this point, a person must look inwards to replace their how with a why, but so many of us absolutely refuse to do so. This person will either be obsessed with work as a means to distract themselves from life, this becomes their how, or obsessed with romance as a means to complete themselves and stop the restlessness of life. This person who places their how at the top of their attention will either dedicate themselves to one of these two fates or predictably oscillate between the two, distracting themselves with work when unable to find love, and then abandoning work when they believe they have found it. Okay, so in today's video, fellas, I'm going to cover a number of topics today, but I mainly want to focus on the woman's fixation, aka the woman's love. I've told you guys many times before that the woman doesn't love how you think she loves. She doesn't love how you love. She doesn't have a male psychology. She has a female psychology. And the woman's love is fixation, obsession, and infatuation. So I want to cover these things, and I want to really delve into how these things affect you. Nearly every single woman you will meet in this life puts a how at the top of their attention. This is why the woman is a creature of desire. This is why the woman is a creature of want, yearning, wishing, hoping. The woman is always looking for a new how to place at the top of her attention because she refuses to accept her why. This is the rebellious nature of the woman. The woman whose purpose is built in, the woman whose purpose has already been laid out for her, rebels against this purpose for the majority of her life, some women for their entire life, and they try to replace their why with a how. Very backwards, paradoxical, counterintuitive beings. We'll be covering the career woman and how she fixates on work or a job in order to not fixate on you, the man, or the family. And I also want to cover the careerless woman who fixates on you, but will also talk to other men in order to share and distribute the fixation she has onto you to other men. You see, the woman who places you at the top of her excitement, her attention, and her passion does not want to fixate on you 100%. Every time she's done so in the past, she's acted deplorably. She's acted in very unattractive and anti-seductive ways because she hasn't built the character, the dignity, the integrity, the emotional discipline, the sexual discipline, or the self-control in order to act correctly towards a man she has previously placed at the height of her attention. She doesn't know how to leverage the things she has correctly when she places a man at the height of her attention, and she has the scars to prove it. All right, so it's very important that you understand how the career woman operates with her fixations and the negative impact that has on you. And it's also very important that you understand how the careerless woman operates with her fixations and the negative impact she has on you. Today, let's see if I can help you guys in overcoming this and navigating through this so you could maximize your ability to influence the woman so you can have the outcomes that you want. And also, let's get you prepared for this as well. All right. We can't always be surprised every time the dog barks at somebody knocking the door. We can't always be surprised every time the dog is barking when somebody passes the front garden. All right. We know the dog is going to bark. So let's stop being surprised. We need to eliminate surprise from our game. Surprise cannot exist in our game as men dealing with women in intersexual dynamics. Every single time you're surprised, bad things happen. All right, so strap yourself in. This is going to be a very, very good video. Let's get into it.
You know, I've never worked with a client who struggled with romantic obsession who also didn't lack purpose in their life. Because obsession is often a distraction from an unfulfilling reality. Because it gives you a project to focus on, something intense to analyze, instead of turning inwards. The obsession rarely has much to do with the other person at all. And it has everything to do with the strategy you developed in order to cope with loneliness, lack of purpose, and unmet needs. The solution isn't getting that person. It's regaining your purpose, creating fulfillment, and expanding your world so one person is no longer your main source of excitement.
Most of my success with women has come from the fact that I've never really been moved by the love of a woman. I do not really value the woman's love because I know it is a fixation. I know it is an obsession, and I know it is fickle. I've probably been told around maybe 20 times that a woman either loves me or is in love with me. Around 20 different women. And it means nothing to me other than 40-minute head sessions with passion, which is good. But it also means another woman who is about to cross my boundaries in the name of love, emotionally outsource and make me responsible for how they think and feel in the name of love, lose all self-control, emotional discipline, dignity and integrity, and abandon themselves for me when I never asked them to, and I do not want them to, in the name of love, invade and violate my privacy in the name of love, constantly ask for reassurances, consistency and predictability in the name of love, try to break me down and change me into something they can control and something they wouldn't even be attracted to if I let them in the name of love, and then hate me eventually as a positive valence turns into a negative valence after not getting what she wants, all in the name of supposed love. I feel nothing when a woman tells me she loves me because I know it is an objectification of who I am. I simply represent something worthy enough of her fixation. And I know this because I have orchestrated this. And this is why I do not moan. I want the woman, I value the woman, and I sometimes myself love the woman. But I feel nothing when she tells me that she loves me. I know how to place myself at the height of her attention, at the height of her excitement, and at the height of her passion. I know how to become the woman's how. How to what you ask? A how to end the process of life. But then I just don't allow her to do so. I don't give her what she wants, which is an end to the process of life. She doesn't know what she wants, but I do. Now, fellas, notice how she said the solution isn't getting that person. This goes for you and this goes for the woman. Watch my previous video where I told you guys that the woman cannot have her cake and eat it too. This is the reason why when you're dealing with a woman, you must provide resistance and delay when it comes to giving her the things she wants. The thing she wants is the end process, is the final destination. She wants to stop the process with you. She wants to end something, end her feelings. She wants to end and complete everything. She doesn't want you, fellas, but she believes she does. It's the illusion of her desires. The woman's fixations continuously creates illusions of her desires. This is what keeps her busy. This is what keeps her distracted. Distracted from what? Distracted from her existential malaise. It gives her a source of vitality and energy. It gives her a reason to live and move forward. The woman only has a how, but her how is wrong. So is yours. Your how is wrong. The woman will only be regulated when she has her why, but she rebels against her why. She does not want her why. So there is a process, a psychological process, a journey of seduction, a journey of push and pull between the man and the woman before the woman finally accepts her why. If you give her her cake, it needs to be a very, very long time before she's allowed to eat it. All right? Because the truth of the matter is, her cake is what she wants. The eating of this cake will dysregulate her because it will expose the fact that she can't be completed. That restlessness is still there. You obviously can't cure me of this restlessness. I must go on to find another how.
I'm going to teach you how to be present all the time in less than 60 seconds. Some people will take literal lifetimes to learn this, so listen up. First thing is to recognise that your memory is always in the past, so don't go to your memory. The second thing is to recognise that your imagination is always in the future, so don't go to your imagination.
Alright, so fellas, when we are talking about the woman's fixations, you need to understand that her fixations, her obsessions and her infatuations is always a product of the past or the future. Her emotions keep her in the past and her fantasies keep her in the future. This is where the woman exists, in this almost paradoxical, simultaneous existence of both being in the past and the future. This is what gives so much of the woman's counterintuitive and paradoxical nature, sometimes unsettling nature. She's not present. She's always oscillating and sometimes simultaneously existing in the past, her emotions, and the future, her fantasy. This is why it's so important that you as a man learn how to be present, learn how to be mindful, learn how to be empathetic. There's nothing more important than your ability to be present, empathetic, and be able to penetrate the woman's mind, because that pulls her out the past, it pulls her out the future, and it brings her into the present moment. A feeling, a great and powerful feeling she is unable to do for herself. This is a very rare experience the woman feels.
Fourth, the present is pure, it's clean, it's never happened before, so there should be no thoughts of the present. There are no thoughts of the present, there's only the experiencing and the witnessing of the present. Third thing, your breath and your body are always present. Number 5 is to do with your identity. If you're identified with the mind and the thoughts, then you'll constantly be in the past or in the future. But if you're identified with the awareness, the one that is witnessing the thoughts, the body and the breath, then you will always be present.
When she's round the right types of individuals who are present and able to draw her into the present, this pulls her out of her emotions, it pulls her out of her fantasy. This is the power, fellas, of being present, of being pro-social, as I've communicated to you before, right? Because you have the power to allow the people around you to experience present moment living for that small period of time you are around them. they are around you. This is the reason why people orbit these individuals that I talk to you about, those who are present like the sun and have vitality and grandiosity like the sun. It's the experiences he provides those who get the honor of having access to him and being around him. The woman is unable to love you, fellas, because she exists in the past and in the future. It's only for little glimpses of periods of time that she's with you. She gets to be present. And I've told you this many, many times. The woman doesn't fall in love with your presence. I know this is confusing, but she doesn't. She falls in love in your absence, because that's when the woman is able to feel all of her feelings, linking you to past events. And this is also when the woman is able to fantasize about you, linking you to future events. The woman is already in love with something. She's already in love with something. Be it an ex, be it her trauma, her addictions, her PTSDs, her fears, her anxieties. She's already in love with something already.
Science shows the person you are most desperate to be chosen by is not just someone that you want. They are someone your nervous system has been trying to heal through. Research on attachment, repetition, compulsion shows that the nervous system does not choose romantic partners randomly. It chooses people who activate the specific emotional environment of the original wound, not to suffer it again, but to try to resolve it. To finally get the ending the nervous system never received. To be chosen by the person who represents the one who did not choose you. To be understood by the person who activates the same feeling as the one who never understood you. The desperation is not about them specifically. It is about what they represent to a nervous system that has been carrying an unfinished story for a very long time.
She doesn't have the space, the capacity, or the bandwidth to truly be in love with you. On top of that, love isn't something everybody has access to. There's work, there's overcoming of pain and suffering, there's character development, there's all of these elements that give someone the ability to love you. Most people do not have the ability to love others. We lie to everybody when we make it seem like love is a choice and a decision anybody could make. No, that's really not true, fellas. Only a very, very small percentage of people can actually provide what we call love. Everybody else provides codependency, dependence, infatuation, fixation, obsession. All right. Love is not something everybody can provide. So if you are somebody who can genuinely provide love, then brother, it's a duty that you spread this. And whoever you give your love to, it's a blessing to them. It's a form of anointing. All right. Do not live this life expecting everybody can love you how you can love people. If you are one of the few individuals who genuinely have this ability to love someone through charity, through pouring into somebody else with nothing else in return, then this is a blessing that you get to bestow upon somebody. All right. And you wanting it even back in return, it's a form of limerence, which is more likening to the woman's type of love.
Research on emotional memory shows that the nervous system stores unresolved relational experience as open loops, incomplete cycles looking for completion. And when it encounters someone who matches the emotional signature of that open loop, it orients toward them with an intensity that feels like destiny, like recognition, like this is the one. When what it actually is the nervous system saying this is the pattern. This is the unfinished thing. This is where I had been trying to get to. The problem is that the person who most activates the wound is rarely the person best equipped to heal it, because they are usually carrying a matching wound of their own. And two people trying to heal through each other without awareness of what they are doing produce not resolution, but repetition. So here's your practice. I want you to think about the last person you felt that specific, desperate quality of wanting to be chosen by, and ask, what did being chosen by them represent beyond the relationship itself? What other story were they a character in? Because the answer to that question is where the real work lives, and it is a work that belongs to you, not them.
So what a woman has for you is, if you are able to represent something she can objectify and use as a conduit to her fantasy, the future, and her emotions, her unresolved trauma, the past, and sometimes you just need one or the other, then you will be good enough for her fixations. Earlier, when I told you the woman's love means nothing to me, is because I know how to be something the woman fixates on. I know how to do it. Watch all of my previous videos. I teach you guys how to do it. Once you understand the formula, it's game over. The woman becomes almost like a computer, right? And you can see the buttons and you can see the circuits, and you know exactly how to wire it in order to be something she fixates on. You know how to represent the things she is in love with. Something I teach you guys all of the time. If you guys don't have dark tetrad characteristics, if you guys cannot represent something, some type of trauma the woman has unresolved issues in, you're not going to be able to sit at the height of a woman's fixation. This is why I teach you guys game. This is why I teach you guys game. If you men are genuinely, actually emotionally available, then you're not going to be able to be something the woman fixates on. So if you actually have emotional availability for her, you can't just be emotionally available. You have to package up your emotional availability for something to earn, for something to work towards, for something to unravel like a present. The emotional availability, if it's the core of the fruit, then you need to have layers that she has to get towards, peel, in order to get to the core, because it's your emotional unavailability. All of the dark stuff that she falls in love with. She doesn't fall in love with your emotional availability. She knows that your emotional availability is good for her, but she hasn't done the work. She hasn't got the character to be able to make good of your emotional availability. She herself isn't emotionally available. So your emotional availability will just work to dysregulate her and not give her the things that she needs to overcome and work towards. She hasn't done the work yet. She's not good enough for it. And this is the reason why, fellas, if a woman sees herself as a 6, you must see her as a 6. Because if you see her like a 10 and she sees herself as a 6, she's simply going to see herself as a 5. She's not done the work, fellas. You have to disable the woman's bad behaviors and enable her good behaviors. This is the safe space that you provide her in. This is the push and pull dynamics. You don't reward the naughty child, the child who hasn't done anything good. This is more than a moral issue. This is a psychological nervous system issue. This is a issue way greater than morality and your ideals. The woman's love, her fixations, her obsessions, her infatuations, it operates in the past and in the future. It's in the past because what the woman has unresolved issues in regards to, she's attracted to. It operates in the future as infatuation because when she doesn't know you, she's able to use her imagination to fill in the gaps of information she doesn't know about you. So she's able to link you to her fantasy. This is the reason why an ick and a turn-off is always when a woman discovers an aspect of reality that goes against the fantasy, fellas. She can't love you. She can only fixate on the elements of you that remind her of the past and can allow her to think of the infinite potentialities and possibilities of the future. The woman who copes through disassociation by creating nirvana fallacies of a perfect world to escape her reality, the reality that is always reminding her of the past, her emotional issues, her pain, her anxiety, her suffering, her feelings of not being good enough, worthy enough, not deserving enough. She uses her disassociation to escape to this nirvana world where everything is perfect. And if you can make it into that nirvana world, then you are perfect. This is where she exists, and this is the reason why she thinks she is perfect. This is the how the woman has created for herself. She is stuck in perpetual loops of how. So as a man, learn how to become the woman's how. The issue with the career woman is that she has her how, and she does everything within her power to ensure that her how isn't you. But her career is not a purpose. It is not a higher calling. It's something she pathologically forces and tries to delusionally tries to make it into her why, but it's not her why. The woman has one why, and that is her her motherhood. In her nature, it's in her DNA. The woman who rebels against the man also rebels against nature, also rebels against God. And this is the reason why the woman has so many autoimmune issues, so many health issues. She really goes against her why. The woman lives in a consistent, perpetual state of dysregulation.
Just remember that denying your true nature will literally make you physically ill, and it will cost you everything. When you spend a majority of your waking hours suppressing who you truly are, your body will literally start betraying you. It'll start betraying you because it knows that you are swimming upstream, you are going down a path that you are not designed for. You could have the easiest job in the world, but every single day you have to drag your body out of bed, and when you go into work, it feels like you are just carrying a 200-pound weighted vest on your back, and you're just like, why the fuck? Where the fuck is this unexplainable fatigue coming from? Because the same person can walk into a gym, torture their body, they go home and work on a personal project for 6 hours straight and have more energy than when they started. And what people don't realize is that the mental and spiritual exhaustion of forcing yourself to do things that you are not designed to do will manifest itself as like physical ailment and physical illness. And it's the most bizarre thing in the world. But you cannot deny yourself for too long before it becomes something that takes over your entire life and costs you who you actually are. And so many people will ignore this for their entire lives. They will suppress and suppress and suppress while their body is screaming at them, telling them to do something, telling them to change, but they keep suppressing until their spirit is so crushed, so beaten down that they don't even know who the fuck they are anymore. They'll apply every single band-aid in the world, more books, podcasts, new supplements, but nothing ever works because they refuse to accept, they refuse to address the root of the issue, which is that they are living a lie and they are living against themselves. And that is the true cost of inauthenticity. And sometimes you will not know how bad it has really gotten until you finally feel a glimpse of what it feels like to be fully alive when you are doing the things that you know you are designed to do. That is what life is supposed to feel like.
Because she goes against her design, right? And this is the issue of the career woman, fellas. And this is why I'll tell you guys to never invest in a career woman, all right? Because she's probably going to be a bit sick, probably going to be a bit ill, not just mentally, but also physically, physiologically, hormonally, psychologically, emotionally. And this is why you find a lot of these women falling in love with their bosses or managers or a man in the line of work anyway, because she defers to the man naturally, and this is just another way for the woman to connect with a man through through her career. She is fixating on the work as a distraction for not being able to find love, not believing that she can find love or she will find love or that a man can truly love her. In order for the woman to continuously have her work, her job, her career as her how, she has to continuously convince herself how bad a man is. She is continuously, through years, giving her mind, feeding her mind more and more and more negative connotations in order to stay away from the man, in order to emotionally detach from a man, in order to be emotionally indifferent from the man. What we avoid and what we abstain, we grow pathology towards. This is the reason why a man and a woman who saves themselves until marriage to have sex at the age of 25, they don't have sex. They think sex is nasty. If you guys look into the studies of this whole thing, men and women who abstain from sex for very long periods of time, they don't have sex in their marriages because they've had to convince themselves that sex is nasty, it's disgusting, it's immoral, and it's bad. All right? And the nervous system and the ego and the psyche adapts, shifts and changes itself to accommodate that reality, because it needs so much energy in order to abstain from something it would naturally gravitate towards. All right. And so this is how the man and woman who abstain from sex develop pathology towards sex. And this is how the woman develops pathology towards the man. In order to avoid the man, she has to consistently feed herself that the man is bad. So the woman practices, she goes out of her way to not fixate on a man. But the woman is a creature of fixation. She doesn't follow her why. In order to not fixate and obsess over something, you must see life as a process. See life as a process, not life as something to avoid, deny, or distract yourself from. That's a how. But when you see life as a process, so you have your why, you have your higher calling, you have your higher purpose in this life, you become a creature of direction, not destination. You enjoy all elements of life, both the pain and the suffering, the life and the death. You enjoy the processes of life. This makes you present. This makes you enjoy your day to day. Of course, you have goals in the horizon, but your mind, your conscious mind, is not focused on the destination. It's focused on the disciplines, the structures, the daily habits, the behaviors that embrace life and move you in the direction of your grandiose goals. The career woman is not a creature of love. She is a creature of fixation. She just forces herself to fixate on work as a form of distraction. Me personally, fellas, I never, ever, ever, ever can never take a career woman seriously. I can't believe you guys do. I can't do it. I've never been attracted to a career woman. Like, as soon as I meet a career woman, that's not for me. I can't take you seriously. I might smash her every now and again after work, but I just can't take this type of a woman seriously. She's so focused and so fixated on something that is very, very superficial. This is why so many women love work, love a job. You know, it's kind of, I don't know, it's just not for me. I'm not attracted to career women, and I can never take them seriously. And I would advise that you guys don't take them seriously. They are actively trying everything within their power to not love you. And worse than the careerless woman, because the careerless woman is a much better option. We'll get into that. But she does everything within her power to not fixate on you either. You know, so she will just replace you with anything. Don't be surprised, fellas, if you have a family with this woman and she decides to not work anymore because you've just got it like that, and she has children. This is the type of woman who will go out of her way to fixate on the children and not you. Not you. She'll purposely try to do that. She'll do everything within her power, again, to convince herself that you're bad, and she'll do everything to fixate and put that energy towards her children, right? Again, going against her why, not truly participating in the process of life, not truly making herself vulnerable with herself so she's able to appreciate and embrace life, not surrendering to herself so she can surrender to life, so she can surrender to you, still operating under the dysregulated fixations and obsessions, the weaknesses of the human mind. So if I was you fellas, I would really not take career women seriously. They're for fun times, not long times. You know, if you can have a couple of these on your rotation, maybe one or two, it's okay, because she's always busy, especially if she's always busy. It's okay. She's got money, so she might just want some dick anyway. The career woman makes herself into a rotation-worthy woman. I can't believe you guys actually have proper lives and marry these women. That's your decision. Sign up for one-on-one coaching if you want me to straighten you correctly. All right? Rotation-worthy women. The careerless woman is by far the better option, but she is no perfect option. So for me, personally, I like women who, if you know me, you know I like neurodivergent women. All right. And so there's many reasons why I like neurodivergent women. Number one, the only woman that I believe has ever truly loved me, that it wasn't a fixation, was a neurodivergent woman. But she was unique for even a neurodivergent woman. I deal with loads of neurodivergent women, and they too just have crazy levels of fixations and obsessions and stuff like that. All right. But I like neurodivergent women because these women tend to think for themselves, not conform like everybody else conforms, and they tend to have hobbies and interests. And they replace the fixation on work and stuff like that for their hobbies and interests. And a lot of neurodivergent women as well, they are actually connected to their why, and they want to have these families and motherhood and stuff like that. But then you have a lot who are just fixated and they're going through their fixations actually, you know, so they fall into that category anyway. They're women at the end of the day. But as I said, the careerless woman who fixates on the man, so she doesn't fixate on work to distract herself, she fixates on the man, she will keep her options open, fellas. She will speak to other men that she doesn't even like in order to not fully fixate on you. You know, man, this is the reason why women are so easy to sleep with. And this is the reason why you can, if you know what you're doing, even in the woman's friend zone, you're going to hit eventually, because she's going to try to distract herself from the man that she truly fixates, truly in love with, quote unquote in love. Well, in love is actually perfect, to be fair. She doesn't love, she's in love, right? Which is a form of codependency. So she's trying to distract herself and prove to herself that she's not in love with the man she's in love with. All right. And so what she will do to take her mind off of you, to like you less, she'll try everything to detach away from the man that she's fixated on. That's the perfect opportunity to sleep with her as a friend or just in general. The woman is quite open like that, you know, and you guys really need to understand the woman's promiscuity. This is why I say to you guys, even if you do everything right, she's still going to be promiscuous at some, because she's afraid of submitting, and she's afraid of your power. She's afraid of submitting to you. She's afraid of how much she is in love with you, how much she admires you. She's afraid of these things. Promiscuity will kick in with the emotional being. The woman is emotional. You know, one of my determinators, whether I take a woman seriously or not, is how emotional she is. The more emotional the woman, the more likely she will cheat on you. Either way, if you do the right things or the wrong things, she will have her options open. You know, so for example, to not fixate on you 100%, she will fixate on you, let's say 60% or 80%. And then she'll distribute the rest of her fixations onto somebody else. So if she's fixating on you 60%, then she'll have 20% on that guy, 20% on that guy, 20% on that guy, and the rest on another guy. Guys that she doesn't even really like. And this is the reason why, fellas, I don't know why you guys find it so hard to sleep with women. The woman doesn't even really need to like you in order for you to be able to doggy style it. All right? There are so many avenues that will make the woman open her legs. But the careerless woman is by far the better option than the career-driven woman. One thing that I want to communicate to you guys today is that you shouldn't expect loyalty from the woman. You should expect promiscuity from the woman. The only time that I would suggest that you guys expect loyalty from the woman is if you've influenced her correctly and she's having your baby. I'll say that again. If you've influenced her correctly and she's having your baby, or she has your baby. The woman's loyalty is a factor of logistics. It's a factor of logistics. I really believe you only truly, really have the woman's loyalty when she has your children. When she's working for you, serving you, and serving the children. She literally doesn't have the opportunity or much of a desire to express her promiscuity. She's so invested. And this is the reason why you have so many issues with women when she doesn't have your children. So many of you guys that want to deal with women, young women, and you don't want to put a baby in them, you are really, really ruining your trump card, right? We trap women with babies. Women don't trap us with babies, not the masculine man, not the types of man that she wants. As you can see, look at stats. We trap the women with babies. Now, I'm not saying that of course she can still cheat and be promiscuous, but it's just drastically harder for the woman to do so. It's just nature, fellas. Trust me, I'm telling you. You know, you got some babies with this woman, and these babies that she loves, she can see your face in them and her face mixed into one. It kind of just creates that, it changes the dynamics of things. Even you yourself as a man, you feel more compelled to be loyal to her as well. You know, so please don't think you can skip the whole baby process and get this loyalty. I wouldn't feel that comfortable, brothers. I wouldn't feel that comfortable, you know. This woman doesn't have your child and you think she's going to give you this loyalty. Like, not... you know, if you could get the logistics correctly and lock her away in a castle behind a dragon, okay. But if she's around a motivated seducer who knows women, understands the buttons and the circuitry, brother, I think she's gone. Bro, I don't think she... honestly, you just have to make sure that your woman isn't around certain types of motivated men. Trust me, certain types of motivated men at work who really understand women, who know how to be attractive and know how to be seductive, because we're human beings at the end of the day. We've got these computer-like aspects, we've got these buttons that can be pushed, you know. And with women it's easy, you know. All you got to do is offer more pleasure and comfort than whatever she currently has, more fun, more presence. If you're not present and the man at work is present, if you're not present and the seducer from gym is present, it makes her feel good, and you're making her feel not always good, and you're boring, you're routine, and the novelty's gone with you. Like, she's gone. She's going to do everything you're not going to know. All right, but these things are drastically reduced when children are involved and when you're building and working towards something. I highly recommend, if you guys are going to take a woman seriously, I highly recommend that you invest in some type of religion along with this woman. Like, you make her, most women turn religious anyway, you know, and when you look through human history as well, it's always been women who've been deeply religious. Most women gravitate towards religion anyway later on in life. They really do. So I'll really invest that. I really advise that you kind of follow a religion together and you build a family together, and you have other pursuits that you're working together with, and she's serving you. Like, you know, start a business with her and stuff. You know, you guys have to be doing some stuff. That's the things that's going to make her loyal towards you. You make sure that you're looking after yourself. As a man, you're supposed to age like wine. So you're actually supposed to kind of like become more attractive as time goes on. So if you're not doing that, then, you know, you're not really using your superpowers. Women should be more and more attracted to you as time goes on, honestly. You know, you need game. You need to know how to make her feel good and stuff, and not feel good when she's not supposed to. Yeah, as I said, there's no guarantees that a woman won't cheat, but you can drastically increase your chances. And also, don't go through your woman's phone. Don't show jealousy and envy. Don't fixate on a woman. Don't obsess on her. Honestly. Don't be worried about other guys. If you put into your woman's mind that you're afraid that she's going to go and fuck that other guy, she's going to fuck that other guy. I don't know what to tell you guys. She's going to fuck that other guy. I don't know how, honestly, do you know how many times I've slept with a woman because her boyfriend was really, really worried that she would sleep with me? Because, as I said, I've always been a well-known player. And the woman comes to my doorstep. Yeah, don't go through your missus' phone. Trust me, brothers, you'll see the lengths that a woman will go through. When I deal with women, they're all leaving their phone next to me unlocked because they want me to go through it, because they know I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to go through your phone. I'm not going to do these things. I don't pre these things. I don't care. I don't care what my woman gets up to when I'm not there. Unless you're the mother of my child, then I'll care a little bit more. But if you ain't got my babies, honestly, I don't. Go and be free, darling. You know, that's the kind of mindset you need to have with women. And then they're backwards. If you want her to be free, she won't be free. She'll be obsessed on you, stuck to you, loyal to you. If you're fleeting and stuff, is this what I'm trying to say? If you're fleeting, then she's going to come and chase you. Right? But if she starts to fleet and then you start chasing her, no, they're backwards. It's all reverse psychology. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Love you guys so much. Please continue to support. As I said, everybody I've not gotten around to, I'm going to get round to you. I promise you. Just been really, really busy recently. Don't you worry. I'll give you my time. Love you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one.